As the cost of housing increases, so does the interest in multi-generational family homes. Hi, this is Jan Parrish with HomeSmart. Over the last several years, we've seen a lot more interest in multi-generational family homes. There's several reasons why this would be a good solution for a lot of families. One would be emotional support. Another would be financial support. Another would be physical help, like in the case of aging parents. In this scenario that we're going to be talking about today, it's baby boomers with their millennial children and their grandchildren. This is not a real family, but it is indicative of a real life situation. And joining me today will be my fabulous colleagues, Aleta Antionette with HomeSmart, Jayne Bale with Platte River Mortgage, Maegan Keller with Shape Space, and Carrie Levy with Exodus Moving and Storage. This will be part one of a 4-part series on Homes Reimagined.
Rick and Anna were empty nesters living in a small ranch home in Centennial, but when their daughter Maya left her husband during the pandemic, she came home to live with them, along with her 2 young children. 5 of them are bursting at the seams in Rick and Anna's 3-bedroom house, so they decided to sell and purchase a bigger home for their newly expanded family. With Maya's additional income, they'll be able to purchase a 5-bedroom home for less than it would cost to run 2 separate households. They will also have the added benefit of shared household chores and responsibilities. Maya will have additional help with the children. Anna was surprised to learn that several of her friends had done the same thing with their adult children. In fact, Anna's best friend Paula recommended her realtor friend Jan Parrish, and she helped them purchase their family home in Parker. So Rick and Anna are also looking to move to Parker near Anna's friend, and they're looking to move to Stonegate right now. But they'll be having a moving sale, and they're sharing all the expenses, including the moving expenses and even the organizational expenses, splitting the cost of moving 3 ways, and then also with the organization. Maegan, what do you think for helping them get organized for this move?
Yes, they have a lot of moving parts coming together. So just like with anything, we would want to make sure that they're not bringing multiples of things. And so I would probably try to help each person in their own space before they bring it together. That's always my recommendation, is to work ahead of it. And I think when they're setting up their space in their new home, they're probably going to want to be really conscientious of what's the grown-up space looking like, what's the kid space, because I know grandma and grandpa are going to want to, just everybody's going to need their own space with that many people in the house. So we would really help, everything is going to have a place and have a home for where it's going. And then with the maintenance of the house and chores and all of that, obviously we can help with the items in the house. We can also help with the organizational function of the house. So we can get a calendar and a schedule going where chores are divided up and tasks are and the grocery shopping, and we can help people also organize their time and their to-dos around their environment and what they need to see happening in the home for all the different needs. And that'll keep changing, right? Because the kids will keep growing and their needs will keep changing, and we'll want to make systems that can grow with them. So everybody feels like they're at home and they're sharing space, but not on top of each other.
So that's why we're having the moving sale, so they don't have to move 3 things or 3 crock pots or whatever, yeah. And so as far as moving, as far as working at the actual move themselves, they're going to be moving a couple days ahead of time to their new house, and then not leaving their old house. Well, they're leaving their old house later. So how do we organize all of that with Exodus?
So, sorry.
So Maegan, this is a great discussion. You and I work well together.
I know.
Don't we? This is how it works. So with a moving company, and this is generic, a moving company, it is based on the number of belongings that are being moved. And so Maegan, going in and really looking through, and it's not 3 crock pots and it's not this, is really being cost effective, because with this it's paid by the hour and we want to be cost effective. And yes, let us move. The new home is ready and can move. The inspection's been done and we can show up on one day and move there. And this is an easy one-day move. Well, I'm going to ask about whether there's going to be packing that needs to be done as well as the moving. Who's doing the packing? That's a key point when it comes to this, Maegan, and the move is really along the packing and being ready to move on the move day.
And I would say on Jayne's behalf, with 3 of them doing the mortgage together, how does that change the mortgage process?
Well, it doesn't really change the mortgage process too much, but it makes a very large home very affordable. So I can see the value. The overhead is probably lower for everyone involved, especially with the rates that we have going now. Makes borrowing very, inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap.
If you found value in this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you have any more questions about what we talked about here today, please feel free to throw them in the chat box below. We'd love to help you out. Thank you so much to my fabulous colleagues, Aleta Antionette with HomeSmart, Jayne Bale with Platte River Mortgage, Carrie Levy with Exodus Moving and Storage, and Maegan Keller with Shape Space. Stay tuned next week for part 2 of Housing Reimagined. We'll be talking about downsizing. Be sure and subscribe so you won't miss out.